Alright, welcome back everyone to Phandalin. This is session 10. In session 9, the session began with Harbin asking Fife and Cruel for help investigating his missing town keys. He has his suspicions, but can't investigate yet with so much going on. And he had asked the pair of you to work with the paladins to remove the unusual and dangerous tree that had emerged from the ruins of the Rodros mansion. Echo began by deciding to go meet with Revlin to inform him of their travels, but found the apothecary shop closed. However, after the conversation with Harbin about the missing keys, Fife and Cruel decide to loot the store again, given that they have access. The pair find Echo puzzled outside the closed store, which Fife is able to open with a brass key that they clumsily drop. Inside the store, the pair recant to Echo what happened to Revlin Rodros, who owned the apothecary shop and lived in the burned manor with the black bell tree. They had found unusual artifacts, they being Fife, Cruel, and Elok, had found unusual artifacts in the Rodros mansion, including a strange book, presenting it to Revlin, who was still in bed recovering from his run-in with the creature. His shadow was immediately burned into the wall behind him, and both he and the book begin hovering off the bed. Unable to harm the book, Fife attempts to spare Rodros an evil fate and kills him, but this instead causes Revlin's body to contort into a tight sphere from which a demon emerged like an egg. The demon returned to the mansion, but Fife had managed to set it ablaze. Additionally, Echo found a potion of demonic resistance. Echo, I think I'm going to flesh this out a little bit more what this potion does, but we'll kind of get to that when we do.
Heard.
Meanwhile, Lance is tinkering when an exhausted Inquisition scout stumbles into town, claiming to have only just left from the Holy Boletarian capital a few days ago. Lance brings the scout to Harbin Wester, who informs the pair that the army had somehow lost the path while traveling. They found themselves inexplicably lost in a deep and strange forest in which they were unable to orient themselves, and followed a path of shining light and emerged 3 days south of Phandalin, which is geographically impossible, and they would have covered a tremendous distance. Harbin suggests that this may be fortuitous given the situation with the town. Inquiring about the Red Brands, Lance comes to a realization. There are no town guards, and no way for Harbin to do very much about the Red Brands being there. Concerned that giving the Red Brands political authority would be dangerous, Harbin has instead resorted to employing mercenaries to perform various tasks. At this point, the party regroups and discusses the next move. Lance suggests leaving Phandalin to its fate, as the coming conflict will be too dangerous for the town to survive. But Fife and Cruel are officers of the town and have a house there. Echo suggests meeting one of the dragons out in the field, but Isidora warns against this, informing the group of Ragnhild's recent investigations of the two dragons encroaching on the town. From the west, the Tempest dragon Artrevig marches on Phandalin with an army of storm giants. From the east approaches Yatumar, a massive dragon of ice in whose wake is ushered a vast and deadly winter wasteland. For now, Cruel suggests that they meet with the paladins. Meanwhile, wasps, strange-looking wasps, had been sort of alighting near Fife, and Fife managed to capture one in a jar. And at this point, the captured creature whispers to Fife, trying to speak to them discreetly. Standing inside the jar, the insect bows to Fife, requests to be released from the jar, and says it has traveled a great distance as a messenger to the tree god Metzenvaki. Because Metzenvaki resides in a different plane where time flows differently, the Feywild, it employs several forms of communication, including messengers such as the bee. The messenger informs Fife that a witch is coming to Phandalin today with someone. Fife was instructed to make a deal with the witch, but by tricking someone else into doing it rather than taking it themselves. The bee asks once again to be freed from the jar, but Fife insists on trapping the bee as a captive in case they need it to communicate with Metzenvaki. The creatures tell Fife it will remember this and go silent. Cruel and the party approach Tristan Manor to confront the Red Brands about the approaching dragons and suggest they need to seize any involvement that may have to do with the situation. Meeting with the captain of the Red Brands, Theo, he confesses that they have been paid to post up in the manor by an unknown employer. The only orders they received were to act in service to the town should the town master, Harbin Wester, grant them legal authority. Otherwise, they've been waiting for their instructions and have been receiving shipments of unusual arrows of dragon slaying +5. Cruel persuades Theo that the Red Brands could have such authority if Harbin were unable to grant it. Theo agrees to the formation of a contract given the crisis. Inquiring how deep the underground basement goes, Theo points out a small hole which Cruel determines to be very deep. Lance suggests bringing the townsfolk there and making a stand against the dragons, but Theo isn't confident. Fife and Cruel decide to regroup with their paladin friend Eloch, but encounter a colossal, strange woman speaking with Ragnhild in the town square on their way back. The witch speaks of the coming dragons, lured to Phandalin by a ghastly scream, and has ventured into town to offer Ragnhild a deal. An hour in the Feydark lasts 3.5 months in the material plane. Merosuhana offers a way there as a means to buy time to save Phandalin, noting Ragnhild's tendency to mingle with humans. However, Ragnhild declines, stating that she will instead observe the coming conflict, but offers her findings of a possible third party at play as thanks. Turning towards the curious townsfolk, she warns them all of coming doom in a day and a half. The Welder Witch leaves a sign to her pocket of shadow, an eye burned into the ground at her feet, which she vanishes into. The crowd grows anxious, and Ragnhild leaves the square, escaping them. Fife manages to track her outside of the town and inquires about the witch Merosuhana. Ragnhild tells them that she is one of the Welder, who are unique Fey witches, who is taken to practicing dark abyssal magic. Lance arrives and Ragnhild confirms with the two that she is the Quicksilver Dragon. Lance asks about the destruction of Orlane and reveals his family was slain by a dragon then, but Ragnhild carefully claims to know nothing of it. Catching up, Cruel informs Ragnhild of the Amethyst Laboratory you all discovered, which she shows a deep interest in. She assures you all that she will investigate it and warns Fife once more about Merosuhana before departing. Before venturing forth to meet with Merosuhana, you all run various errands. Fife picks up a letter from the Order of the Crimson Rite and met with Fife and Cruel, who had gone to regroup with the paladins Eloch and Mazoon. Finding the jailhouse empty, the party finds the two paladins near the back with the captured shapeshifter. Mazoon appears to be greatly wounded despite being healed as much as possible by their healing magic. He's half blinded, he's got a crushed face and arm, and a wounded leg. A woman behind the bars cries out for assistance, indistinguishable from a person. Cruel inquires how they found the creature, and the paladins inform the group of an ability to sense for such magic. At Cruel's prompting, they each reach out with this sense and detect Echo as a dark entity of some kind, suspecting them to be a similar creature. Shocked, the paladins jump to their feet. Cruel immediately backpedals and attempts to calm down the situation. Informing the paladins that Echo is safe with them, they request custody of the captive creature who is currently awaiting the Inquisition. Cruel persuades the paladins that the Inquisition will not arrive in time, and the paladins should consider what the party has in mind. Eloch agrees, chaining the creature to himself in case it attempts to escape. Whispering to Fife and Sylvan, Echo plots to kill the paladins. Fife agrees, but expresses a desire to trick someone into accepting a deal with Merosuhana. They agree to attempt to kill the paladins if necessary, and settle on involving Cruel in the assassination attempt. Before venturing forth to meet Merosuhana, Cruel and Fife retrieve Harbin Wester. Together, they flatter and pressure Harbin the Ogre Slayer into thinking he could possibly save everyone in the town. At last, the party gathers around the overlapping circles which form Merosuhana's door. As they attempt to figure out how to work it, the burned shapes suddenly blink, the iris a solid miasmic pit. Harbin suddenly gets cold feet and reconsiders his heroics, but Cruel uses his massive size to grab hold of him and enters the pit together. Eloch, chained to the homunculus, is reluctant to bring the creature into the eye. Mazoon agrees to enter with Harbin, the two Phandalin authorities, Fife and Cruel, and while Eloch awaits the creature in the town square. Fife expresses surprise at this, but Eloch replies that they are spread thin and cannot risk losing their captive. Echo requests Lance keep an eye on Eloch, and the party disappears into the murky black pit in the center of the eye. Which brings you all here. Looking about this area where you're all standing, over this eye. This is a sort of infinite black expanse in every direction. There are occasionally these sort of black stone spires which rise up out of what appears when you step. There's a sort of like soft ripple, like a splash almost, as if you're stepping in a very shallow liquid. But as far as you can see beneath you, it's just black in every direction. Squirming, you see about a small wooden cabin in front of you, these shapes. They appear to be humanoid. And while you can't quite tell what they're doing, they're all sort of just wriggling and writhing in place. Ahead of you here is a small wooden cabin, alone in this black expanse. The door is currently closed.
Do those black shadows look like they're in pain, writhing, or they're just moving around?
You're welcome to go investigate it. If you'd like to roll an insight.
I would love to roll an insight on this shadow creature. 15.
15? Inspecting this a little closer, you note like a sort of succession of twitching actions, movements. They're very tight and rapid. It's not a sort of like slow sort of thing, but they do appear to, whatever they're doing is happening very rapidly. I don't know if I'm doing a great job explaining that. Rapid movements.
Rapid movements. Okay. Echo says, "What are you doing?"
Just utterly silent.
Echo turns around to the party.
You do see these two... Actually, let me show this to the screen again. You do see, as you speak to this creature, these two sort of burning eyes as they sort of like swivel in place, and they're kind of facing you. And the figure just sort of like stares at you. And you do see as it kind of flickers and sort of recoils about. But the eyes just are sort of silently fixed on you. It does not speak or say anything of any kind.
I shout out to you, try throwing a rock at it.
I don't want to hurt it. I don't even know what it is.
You don't have to throw it hard, just like, is it physical?
Oh, Echo takes out one of their daggers, holds the sharp end, and tries to prod it with the dull end.
It'll just pass right through.
Oh,
it appears
they
to be
are not
incorporeal.
It doesn't like try to attack or anything. It just is like bloop.
Nope. It makes no attempt to attack.
All right.
Does it have any reaction whatsoever to the passing of another object through its
It does not.
visage?
It does not. It does face you, Echo. As you move about, the eyes follow you. However, it does not communicate anything. It is utterly silent.
I'm gonna nudge Fife and be like, hey, try and get some of one in a bottle, See if you can scoop some up.
Sure. Okay. I don't know. I trot on over. Reach out with empty bottle that formerly had bug in it.
Oh, did you let the bug out?
Yeah, I let the bug out before we left, remember?
Oh, damn. Okay, I don't remember that. But good
And
to
the
know.
bug flew through the portal.
Did it? Oh, yeah, it did.
Yes. Yeah.
Lied to me.
Okay. All right. So. Oh, well, Whoops. That didn't
What?
happen.
I didn't see that.
What was that?
Something was
I see
copy
nothing.
pasted. My apologies. Okay, so Fife, as you sort of sweep a glass jar through this thing, it passes right through the glass. The glass doesn't seem able to contain it in any kind of way.
Okay. Hmm. Can I try standing in it?
Sure. Yeah, you can stand in it if you like.
Nothing happens, I presume.
It's warm.
Ooh. Okay. I don't know.
It's like standing in one of those like heat vents in the city.
Oh, that's always nice when it's cold out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Meanwhile, Harbin is going to sort of be muttering nervously to you, Cruel. And he's like, I don't know if I've quite made the right decision, Cruel. I think that perhaps Harbin, the Ogre Slayer, is biting off a bit more than this town master can chew. Perhaps it would be best for us to reconsider our course of actions and turn around and go right back through that space through which we came.
Your entire life has been leading you here. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, and I will not hear any more of this. You are the hero of this town, and you are going to continue to be the hero of this town, and your fear just proves that you're wise.
Oh my god. Cruel. That's so good. You know what? Okay, no need to roll. He sort of somewhat reaffirmed by this statement of yours. He says, I'm just not entirely sure what all I have to offer in this situation. And Mazoon, sort of looking over at Harbin, sort of speaks and says, perhaps it's best you not offer anything at all. And what do you think of this, Cruel?
I think when it comes time to negotiate, that will be Harbin's time to shine. We'll see what
My time to shine?
Yeah?
Well, what do you expect me to say?
Are you not going to negotiate on behalf of the town?
I mean, that's what I pay you and Fife for. You're to be my right and left hand.
I yell over, you don't pay us.
That's true.
I do. I pay you directly out of the treasury. I've done it at least once.
I have no recollection.
That might have happened.
Maybe.
You got a statue that one time. A little statuette.
That's not money.
Indeed, it was very valuable. Anyways, I'm not sure what this witch would want from me, but I suppose I'm happy to be present.
Well, a conversation between two leaders, yourself and the witch, will, I'm sure, be very valuable.
Harbin is a master negotiator.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
I'm still standing over there. I just mutter that to myself.
Okay.
I'll
So,
prop back over.
what are y'all ready? Is there anything else y'all would like to do?
Yeah, we can go on.
Oh, actually,
I see
Isidore
we're
did not come through, right?
No, Isidore.
That we know of.
Pretty sure.
Oh no,
Thank
never
you.
mind. Never mind. I was just remembering something Ray had told me, but I'm wrong place. Okay, so as everyone approaches, the door to this cabin is going to slowly open on its own, and I'm suddenly realizing I might need to resize this room in order to fit everybody in here. Whoops. So just kind of work with me for a second.
Oh, sorry, I messed with that.
No, you're totally good. Okay, here we go. Let's do all of this good stuff here. Sorry, 1 second. I am correcting this room.
Is this just a completely empty room except for those chairs?
Correct.
Oh. Okay.
There we go. She has a large wooden chair. I couldn't find the artwork for it, but it exists somewhere. I just have to go locate it again. So anyways, there is a single chair here, but it is not needed. And as you all enter, it sort of turns sideways, slides, and sets itself against the wall. And the group of you all step in to this large, towering creature here. And this tall figure sort of regards you all quietly. And then says, "Welcome. You're quite brave to venture into my cabin. What can I do for all of you?"
We were told by who we assume to be a friend of yours. What was their name?
Wasn't that them who came into the town?
Yes, but we spoke to
Dragonhild?
Briggenhild.
Ragnhild.
Ragnhild. Is it Ragnhild?
Ragnhild.
Okay, Ragnhild.
Y'all spoke to Ragnhild? Okay.
Yeah. And we believed that you might be able to help the town. We, motioning to Fife and me, have been deputized by the leader of Phandalin himself, Harbin Wester, the Ogre Slayer.
Gesture to Harbin.
The figure looks at Harbin. Harbin pales. Small beads of sweat gather at his temples.
To negotiate for assistance on saving the town from the looming destruction.
Ah, is that so? You would negotiate then? Sort of stooping over Harbin here, who sort of blanches. He says, yes, I'm the town master of Phandalin, and it's my responsibility to see to such things, ma'am." And she says, "Very well. I have made my offer, a way to the Feydark, as a means to buy time, though I sort of peering about at you, all of you." She says, a curious lot, but there's likely little you can all do. I'm afraid Ragnhild was in a far greater position than anyone present in this room. However, as she's saying this, Echo, you're going to hear a voice in your head, and it's going to say, sort of as she's speaking, "Ah, you're a curious one. I'm very interested in how you found your way here." Echo, do you
Echo
have
pauses. Yeah.
Okay.
Echo stands still. Have they ever had someone speak into their head like that before?
I would say no.
Okay. They pause. And they go, "Can you hear me right now?" In their head.
She just sort of speaks back to you, and she says, "Indeed, I'm curious how one such as yourself found yourself traveling alongside one such as these. It is uncanny.
Uncanny, huh? Well, I could offer that story to you. For something in return, perhaps.
Yes, everything for a price. At this, she's sort of finishing up her verbal statements. And she says, very well. What do you all have to stake?
Well,
She sort of looks down at Harbin. Harbin sort of nervously turns and looks at you, Cruel, and you, Fife.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, we've brought,
Harbin has given his life for the town, and I am sure there is nothing that you could ask of him that he would not give you.
Nothing.
Harbin looks up at the witch, and she says, indeed, nothing, Harbin Wester. And Harbin sort of peers back up at this towering figure, and he says, there are some things. What do you ask? And she says, only of peace. Nothing you'll miss. Just a part of your... a part of who you are, shall we say. But, as I said, nothing you'll miss.
Well, that sounds perfect. I feel like we're getting a bargain here, Harbin.
Pretty good deal. Sounds good to me.
I'm not so
And
sure.
I've given up tons of parts of myself for things in the past. It's a pretty good deal usually.
It's just part of being an adventurer, Harbin.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm willing to give up any kind of part of myself to this creature. At this point, Mazun is going to step forward, and he's going to say, and what more can you offer? Can you offer strength? And this creature sort of turns its head towards Mazun and says, for a price, everything comes with equal exchange. And Mazun steps forward and he says, I have nothing. I have nothing, and I'm willing to trade everything if you'll give me the power.
I kind of want to grab Mazun's arm and just be like, hey, you changed your mind awfully quick.
At this, Meru Suhana is going to sort of slide across the floor and kind of holding a palm over Mazun, she sort of like lifts him off the ground. And you guys sort of see the blood drops kind of dripping kind of off of his leg armor where his stitches had all burst earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And they sort of like pitter to the ground. And she says, I can offer you power. What are you willing to offer? And Mazun says, as long as I have my freedom, I've got nothing to lose. Take what you want, as long as I'm not too burdened by it.
Oh, shit.
At this, Meryl Suhana is going to reach this long, gangly black hand down. And grabbing Mazun by his hair, she sort of pulls and tugs backwards. But as she pulls, it doesn't pull him forward, but this black shade, What did I just do? Good lord. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Yes, there we go. Okay. This black shade is sort of pried out of him. And she sort of lifts it off the ground and peers at it for a moment. And looking back at Mazoon, she sort of slides a hand over his face, and his ruined eye is restored, and his crushed face is full again. And sort of sliding a hand over his ruined left arm, you guys watch as the arm suddenly twists around and slides back into place and is restored. And lastly, as her long, gangly fingers slide over his wounded leg, you watch as the stitches all sort of wiggle and writhe out of his skin like little maggots and then fall to the floor as the wound sort of closes and the flesh stitches itself closed. And she drops him onto the ground, and standing upright, he laughs and he says, "Yes. I feel so much better. You've done me well, witch, and our path." And Marisuhana sort of smiles and shakes her head, and she says, "I gave you this for power. I'm afraid for a path, you'll need something else altogether." And she sort of turns and places this figure in one of the chairs behind her. And she says, turning to Mazoon, "You and I'll be seeing much more of one another in the coming days. This pleases me greatly. And you, little man," and she sort of turns back on Harbin here, and she says, "You would sacrifice almost anything as well?" And Harbin says, and sort of looks over at Mazoon, who's actually looking quite well, despite having had whatever that was pried out of him. He looks back at you, Cruel, and back at Fife.
I'm giving a thumbs up.
And he says, I don't think...
Look at Mazoon. He's no worse for it.
I wouldn't miss anything, right?
Probably not.
No.
See, it probably grows back. My horns grow back. I gave up one of my horns.
Yeah, it's gonna be less than an eye.
Every year.
How many adventurers have you seen with one eye? Come on.
It's not going to hurt, is it? And
Did Mazoon make pain noises?
Okay. He says... He says, as long as it won't hurt and I won't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'll do this thing. But, then I would like you to maybe go away and not come back to Phandalin for some time. Not to be rude, I just... it makes the people a little uneasy, and... well, quite frankly, it makes me a little nervous as well. And Marisuhana smiles, and holding a hand over Harbin, he's whisked off the ground as well. And reaching down, her fingers sort of sink into his balding head, into his scalp, and they pry out a similar figure. Why is it doing this to my camera? And she turns, places it on another chair, And she says, "Very well. I'm pleased with this. Not my intended recipients, but a satisfying deal all the same. You'll find your door. I'll grant it to you shortly. But for now, I believe our business is concluded, unless one of you would like something further."
I would go ahead and I want to sense whatever you made sense evil.
Demonic.
Sense demonic. Fiend.
Maybe. I forget how that works.
Okay. Sure. So you pulse out Cruel. You are going to feel it coming from Mero Suhana. You're going to feel it coming from... It's not evil per se, but it's just like this like abyssal, you know? Feel it coming from Mero Suhana, Echo, Mazoon. All of these, it's like you're in a complete environment of like abyssal magic.
Okay. And Harbin too?
Yes, and now Harbin as well.
Okay. No, that's alright. Just the portal.
Echo's going to think in their head. Well, would you like this information or not?
I would. I offer you this. Echo, you are going to learn an incantation. And this symbol of this eye is going to be burned into your mind. And the incantation activates the eye. And you are going to receive a way to enter this pocket whenever you create one of these portals.
Whoa, whoa. I learned an incantation.
So you learn how to create the eye, and the eye brings you here.
Wow. Okay.
You know inherently that this is to be kept secret. This is private knowledge.
Oh, okay. Wow. Quite a gift, I must say. Well, and they tell her kind of who they are, what they do. They don't mention the name of who they work for. And they'll say what their purpose is with the party at the moment, which has to do with that prisoner, the thing that the paladins captured, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So, this is sort of... I suppose all of this is happening as she's, like, prying the figure out of Mazoon and out of Fife. And y'all are having this sort of private conversation as she's carrying out these other things.
Cool.
And,
Wait, you mean out of
sorry, not
Harbin?
Fife, Harbin, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Harbin. Okay. So she says, "Interesting. You and I have much to discuss. It seems I've granted thee this information wisely. I do look forward to seeing you soon. We have far more in common than you know."
I'll be back.
Good. I look forward to it. Okay, and then at about this time, she's done with Harbin, sets him back down. Harbin looks like he wants to puke, but sort of standing upright, he says, Actually, I feel pretty good. A little anxious, but I'm relieved to say I don't feel half bad after all." And you guys see as his initial anxiety, his sort of pale feeling, is sort of replaced with a vigor that Mazoon also sort of shows. He sort of stands a little straighter. And he says, well, it seems everything's gone smoothly. And you'll leave us then? You'll leave Phandalin? Miss...
May I make a proposal, Harbin?
Sure, Cruel. You can interject.
I think the leave for a little while, you should use more specific language. You know, what is a little while? What is a while? How about not return as long as Harbin is in charge of Phandalin?
Yes, actually, could you just sort of not come back to Phandalin at all at any point in time?
While Harbin is in charge.
I don't know that this creature should ever come back to Phandalin.
Trust me on this one, Harbin. Come on, I've led you this far.
No offense, of course, sort of looking up at this tall, imposing creature. The creature sort of just regards the two of you. And then it's going to say, I'm afraid that wasn't part of our agreement. However, I will come and go as I please, and my business here is concluded, at least for the time being. You'll find the door you're looking for on the other side. Good luck. Okay.
Alright.
So, as your business is concluded, the door behind you opens, and the distance between you and Merosuhana grows as you're all sort of sliding backwards across the ground. And you find yourselves outside the eye, back in Phandalin.
Oh. Well, what the heck? Where's the portal?
Said behind?
Oh, shut up.
On the other side, I think.
Yeah, sorry, let me put that portal there. I think I need to put y'all on the map as well. Oh lord, what am I doing? Okay, tokens. Here we are.
Oh, so y'all didn't go to the Feydark?
No, they traded for the door to open up the Feydark, but they weren't leaving at this moment.
Okay. So Lance will just see them return, right? This only took like, how long? Like a few minutes?
I would say, I don't know, I would say they were in there about like 10-15 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't a terribly long time.
I want to go ahead and approach Elok and just go, I don't mean to concern you, but I think you should check for fiends again.
Okay. So...
I want to say that quietly if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Cruel. So you're, okay, so you're just walking out of the portal, beelining for Elok, and you're trying to whisper this to him in front of Mazoon. Make me a stealth check to do this subtly.
God. Okay.
He's like he's standing right there.
Whole thing.
Oh, Lance sees all...
nat 20,
Oh,
dude.
shit!
Oh,
You
God.
told me.
Holy shit. That was a good roll, too. Okay. Well, you're dealing with a different animal now, Cruel.
What?
So-
Wait.
So, Mazoon is going to hear this, although he doesn't immediately say anything. And Elok, who is going to pulse again, is going to sort of sense this, and turning to Mazoon, he says, "Mazoon, what's happened? I feel it. You're drenched in it. What transpassed in that inky eye?" And Mazoon sort of looks back at the rest of you, and he says, "Nothing that wasn't unnecessary. I believe Harbin and I may save this town yet." Let me see here. Okay. So Elok doesn't buy it. And he says, It's like you're no different from this creature right here. The two of you. Tell me, what happened in there?" And Lance, Fife Echo, you're all going to see this confrontation occurring. Does
Lance
anybody
is
want to explain?
Scoot in and listen.
I'm just watching. It seems like fun.
So bravely, Harbin offered to sacrifice himself for the town, and gave up some part of himself.
I did.
Uh,
I feel okay. He says quietly in the background.
However, during this transaction, Mazoon stepped in and made an entirely selfish wish of the witch.
As I said, nothing that wasn't necessary. He says, "You see, Elok, I'm much, much better now. I'm afraid the Empire's magics would have done little for me. You knew this well. And a grisly fate awaits those like us who can't carry on our duties. However, like this," and he sort of like moves his ruined arm, works his fingers, and he says, "I can go about our work like nothing ever happened." And Elok says, "Mazoon, you know what they'll do to you back at the capital. You'll never make it through." And Mazoon sort of shakes his head and he says, "I've a much better chance like this. No life awaited me back there. There's no reason we can't carry on our work abroad." Let me see here. I'm gonna make one more. But this time. Oh shit. Uh-oh. That's not good. Elog is pissed. Okay.
Can Echo have made their way around kind of close, stealthily? Just near Elok?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. In fact, go ahead and make me a stealth check at advantage because he's very distracted by the situation.
20, dirty 20.
Okay. All right, Echo, what would you like to do? Oh, God.
Well, I mainly want to egg him on. So I'm going to appear next to him and say, "He's no different from me now. What are you going to do about it?"
Elok jumps uncomfortably and steps backwards onto this captive homunculus. And at this point, the creature jumps onto Elok's back, and you guys watch as the top of its mouth stretches open wide, and almost in a like frog or serpent-like manner just engulfs Elok's head and shoulders and torso, and gets about halfway down. And so it's basically Elok's legs, while his torso is like half swallowed by this creature that he's chained to.
Lance turns and like aims at the body of the creature not attached to Elok.
Yeah.
Fires a shot.
Not attached to Elok?
Wait, what?
Well, the part you said halfway, right? Like the whole body of this thing is attached to Elok.
So they're like chained together at the waist.
Yeah.
And this thing has essentially jumped on his back, backpack style, right? But then its like mouth has like opened up wide and swallowed his torso. So it's essentially just his legs holding up the two of them at the moment, as this thing's attempting to swallow him.
All right. So yeah, I shoot. It's like the part that's not on Elok, I guess. That's on Elok's back still.
Okay, I see. You're attacking the creature.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
Echo would like to intervene, throw a knife or something to make the arrow miss.
All right.
Oh shit.
Shit.
Okay. Alright, so Lance, you rolled a 22. Echo, you're trying to intervene to stop this attack.
I don't want to hurt Lance though.
Roll me a... We're gonna say you're helping Elok in this case, so Lance, go ahead and roll me that one more time. This will be a disadvantage.
Roll, damn it. Oh wait. Okay.
Oh, a
The
nat
first one.
20. Holy shit. Okay. So Lance,
Uh-oh.
you're like, or Echo, you're like trying to intervene, but Lance is a damn good shot, and this bolt is going to launch towards this creature, and slicing into the back, it shrieks, and its upper, like its mouth sort of lifts up off of Elok's shoulders and head as it like screams, and its face sort of contorts and tightens back up into a roughly humanoid shape. And it kind of falls to the ground here.
Is it moving?
Yeah, it's still moving. It's just like wounded. It would let go of Elok essentially. But yeah, it's not dead. So turning, it is going to drop onto all fours and attempt to lunge.
At disadvantage since it's chained to the ice still and has the lift.
Correct. So it like turns and like dropping into a frog-like stance, this woman leaps towards like the nearest wall, grabbing the corner of this building and like attempting to like kind of climb up this corner, and y'all watch as Elok is kind of dragged along the ground, but she's not able to get like up this corner because he's too heavy in his armor with his sword, and he's like kind of struggling to get to his feet.
I want to go ahead and cast Compelled Duel on the creature.
Oh my god, okay. What is that, a wisdom save?
That is a wisdom save.
Okay, yeah. So this creature's like trying to climb, and it's like dragging Elok like up against the corner, but like once it hits a certain point, and you guys are watching now as its hands and feet are like kind of adhering almost in a gecko-like fashion to the corner of this wall, as it's like trying to climb up with these lizard-like legs. However, it sort of hits this stopping point, and it can't figure out why, and it sort of bashes itself trying to jump, and it sort of like jumps with all four of its legs, smashes against an invisible ceiling, and like falls to the ground beside Elok here, who is going to grapple it. Yeah, this thing is grappled.
Oh my god, rough day for the fucking homunculus.
And you guys are going to watch as Elok is going to mount this thing and just start pummeling it with his fists.
Lance lowers his crossbow and just watches.
Yeah.
Wailed on.
Okay.
Echo's gonna run in and say, "Don't kill it."
I also want to stop you from killing it. Say, hey, down.
Didn't you just see what that thing did?
Roll me an insight check, both of y'all.
Can I tell Elok to bite it? Return. Because it bit him.
Insight.
Wait, who roll insight?
Got my rolling insight, or just
Kroll and Echo.
Oh. 12.
Okay. Yep. So, anyways, as Elok is pummeling this thing, after a moment, it's going to go still, and he's going to stand up, kind of red-faced. And the creature, which is just sort of like laying limp on the ground, chained to his waist, he's going to rise to his feet and turn and look at the rest of you.
I want to sense Abyssal and sense Fiend.
Okay. All right. So you're just sensing right now.
Yeah.
You're basically gonna sense pretty much the same thing. Mazoon, Harbin.
What about Elok?
Homunculus, not Elok.
Okay, cool.
Mazoon, Harbin, Elok, and Echo. Yeah. Just the normal stuff. Okay, so after a moment, if nobody else wants to do anything further, the creature goes essentially still. It's not dead. It is just essentially subdued. Watching Elok do this, you can see as soon as the creature kind of goes limp, he's kind of eyeballing it, and he stands up and turns back to face everyone else. Everybody gets the sense, even though he's sort of huffing and red-faced, that he was sort of watching for a certain stopping point. And as soon as it happened, he kind of caught it and then just stood up. And huffing, he's like sort of getting his breath back. And sort of looking about
Lance,
it.
out of respect, nods at Elok.
Y'all are not qualified to hold this thing. Y'all need to hand it over to us.
Lance, who, Kroll, you said that?
Yeah.
Elok.
I was gonna ask you why you want that so badly.
Yeah, sure.
I just don't think it should be left in their hands. If we hadn't come back when we did, Elok would be dead.
You're right, and it should be dead. And I aim my crossbow at the still moving homunculus.
We're the most qualified to have custody of this creature, as you just saw, says Elok. And
I laugh at him.
Mazoon, sort of stepping closer to Elok, is going to say, particularly now.
Doesn't Elok still not trust Mazoon?
Why is it so important?
Elok is not comfortable with Mazoon. In fact, make me an insight check, Fife and Cruel. And Echo and Lance, if you all like, you're all welcome to roll an insight check on this.
4.
None of us know shit.
We noticed nothing.
Okay, no sweat. You can tell that Elok is, as Mazoon says this, Elok gives Mazoon a distrusting look. However, given the situation, I need to put this door on this map too. Hold on, let me just find like a rift or something.
While that's happening, can I speak to Echo and Sylvan?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? So we're just going to say, fuck it, we're just going to say right here. Oh, there's a white in there.
Oh no.
Whatever.
Okay.
right smack dab in the center of town. And there is now a churning rift.
What? Oh.
And it just sort of sits openly right here, smack dab in the center. There are several curious onlookers who are like examining these strange electric-looking waves as they kind of ripple and tear across the surface of this portal.
Can I speak to Echo and Sylvan?
Sure.
So that I guess others can't hear it. I guess it doesn't really matter though, but I want to ask Echo, what's the deal with this thing? Why?
Would like to learn from it. It is a creature that could offer us a powerful advantage.
Okay.
And I would like to have it. I would like to have it.
Do we know what do you know about this thing that you're comfortable telling me?
Well,
Do you know of its origins or what they're like, where they're from? Are you friends?
I mean, I don't know it personally. I'm not completely certain of its origins, but I do have an idea.
Okay.
Very clear idea of its capabilities. And like I said, could offer a very powerful advantage to us.
Okay. Cool.
Also, Mazun and Elog need to die, so we need to figure that out.
Yeah, I feel like that got a lot harder recently.
Indeed, yes.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay. So while Echo and Fife are sort of whispering to one another, Harbin sort of seeing several townsfolk. Let's see if I've got some like groups of townsfolk. Sort of standing about this rift is going to turn and facing people who are standing about is going to say, "Worry not, dear people. I, your town master, have made a deal with that imposing creature to bravely seek out a solution for all of you fair people. My fine companions here," sort of gesturing to the rest of you, "have agreed to venture forth and see if there's something we can do for all of you. Now that being said, I will be coming up with an announcement shortly. If you could tell everyone you know, we will be gathering in the town square at some point here in the near future. But if I'm needed until then, you will be able to find me at the Town Master Hall. Please do not approach this. Please do not approach this." And he sort of points towards this sort of shifting, energetic tear in space. And he says, "We're not sure how dangerous this is yet." Okay. With that done, sort of looking back at the rest of you, he says, "I've bought us some time if I can, but I need to know what the plan is."
Well, Harbin.
Well, Cruel, the master. What? No, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just gonna gesture to you, the master tactician, Cruel.
Are you going to be joining us? Harbin?
Me? No, of course not. I have done everything I was supposed to do. This is exactly what you were hired to do.
Well... okay, well...
You're welcome to take anything you need from the apothecary shop, and if you require any goods, we'll offer up what little we can.
How can we get into the apothecary shop? Weren't the keys stolen?
Yes, however, I'm sure somebody can get in with, tools of some kind.
Do you mind us breaking a window?
A crowbar, perhaps.
Do you have a crowbar?
I'm sure we could obtain a crowbar from the blacksmith.
Oh, yeah.
There's no need to break a window. I could open the door. I could figure it out.
Ah, perfect. Well, there you have it. Anything you need, we'll be happy to stock you for your journey. However, I have much planning to do. I've got to come up with some sort of way to save these good people.
Harbin, one last word to you. You should figure out what got stolen from you. Probably not a big deal, but...
Probably
you're
not.
thinking about it. Maybe ask some people.
I don't know. Let him in. I just kind of like nudge you, and I'm like whispering, like, just let him enjoy what he's got left.
As
Let him.
you say this, he sort of looks nervously about, and he says, "I don't know what you mean. The security of our town has never been compromised. And if you should like to speak to me further on any particular topic, you know where to find me."
All right.
That being said, please do seek me out if you're interested in that. I would be happy to talk with you on the matter further. However, I know you do have your hands full. That being said, my work here is done. I'm leaving.
Does he? Can I? Do I detect anything in whatever the heck he just did? It seems like he seems to know what he may or may not have lost, actually. But I don't know.
What makes you think that? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. Upon that brought up, he just like bolts. It's like, don't worry about that. The town has never been in danger. Even though the town has been in danger several times.
Okay, Fife, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Where are you? I forgot.
Can't see the most recent roll.
There it is. I got 10.
10.
I perceived nothing.
All right. Well,
We failed like 6 insight checks.
no, I'll say you don't need a high insight check to see this. It's pretty clear what's going on. Harbin Wester does not want to be involved with this. All of this is way over his head. He feels he did his part by getting the store open and wants nothing more to do with any of it, but would like to be associated with a positive outcome.
Okay, yeah.
That's Harbin. So, yes, he is going to sort of catch his breath in the privacy of his office, think about what to do about the paladins, about all of you, and about the tree, the storms, the red brands, and the surging portal that has appeared in the center of his town.
I wonder, because the tree's abyssal, right? And now he is also abyssal.
The tree is indeed abyssal.
I wonder if the abyssal people are less affected. I don't know. Problems for the future.
Okay.
Thinking.
Well, and you are certainly welcome to do whatever the heck y'all would like to do. The paladins. Alright. So, let me think for a second. Cruel, you had convinced them to bring the homunculus because y'all couldn't wait for the Inquisition.
Yes.
What exactly was your plan?
For them to both come into the Feydark with us? With Well, actually, I wanted them to come to the negotiation with us. Because I wanted to offer the creature to the witch.
Oh,
Right.
shit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely see that Elok is deeply suspicious of Mazoon. Mazoon is kind of trying to reassure him, and Elok clearly needs help with this creature. But you can see they have a conversation to have at some point. What would all of you lot like to do?
I want to go up to Elok. And I'm going to say, I see you have a bit of a predicament on your hands with Mazoon over there. I'm talking kind of quietly. I don't know how far away is Mazoon? He looks like he's far away, but is that far?
No, Mazoon's like standing right there. I'm trying to keep their names from like obnoxiously overlapping with their tokens.
So okay, they're standing right next to each other. Okay, so Echo approaches both of them then.
Okay.
And they say, you have quite a predicament on your hands. They look at Mazoon and say, you have something kind of funky about you now, and they look at Elok and they say, you can't take care of this creature alone, clearly, after what just happened. So, let me offer you an idea. Come with us into the Feydark, buy yourself some time, which is exactly what we're doing, and we'll figure it out as we go. But like you said, Elok, if either of you, if you, and they gestured to Mazoon, if Mazoon goes back to the capital, he's a goner. Come to the Feydark and buy yourself some time.
Echo, make me a persuasion check at advantage.
Heck yes. Okay, come on. That's a 24. Ooh.
Wow.
Elok suspiciously looks at Mazoon. The two of them look at the homunculus, they look at the storms approaching from either side, and they look back at this rippling, surging portal, which sort of tears and cackles in the center of town. You can see he's definitely thinking about it, Elok, and Mazoon's considering it too. Mazoon sort of scratches his chin thoughtfully and he says, "The only thing is, there's no guarantee there's a way back, but we could try."
Echo says, but I can provide a way back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually lying right now.
Yeah.
You can provide a way back. And
Yeah.
how exactly can you do that?
Well, that is for me to know and you to find out.
Ooh, okay.
I can't give you all my secrets.
You're gonna have to roll a deception check because this is a really important thing. You're like, I can do this. You're just gonna have to trust me.
Okay, all right, deception. Here we go. 14?
Let's
God.
see what we got.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
The two of them sort of look at each other. And they look down at this creature too. And Mazoon, turning to you, Echo, says, "What's your stake in all of this, creature? Why are you here in this place? And are you really who you say you are?"
I am merely here to learn. I study these creatures. It's what I do.
Roll me a deception check. Roll me one more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a... Ooh, 22. 22.
Interesting. Well, then perhaps we're not so different after all.
Indeed.
And sort of Elok, sort of looking over at Mazoon, says, "You're indistinguishable from one of them yourself. We have much to discuss, Mazoon." And Mazoon sort of nods and he says, "Yes, but it's worth it. Look at me now. I'm so much more than I used to be." He says, "In fact, I feel great. Better than ever, really." Okay. So, Mazoon and Elok need to discuss this further, Echo, but with what you've just said, they're definitely gonna think about it. What would all of y'all like to do? Are y'all just gonna charge right in, or is there anything left in town that y'all would like to do?
Well, I think we want to raid the apothecary, right?
Yes, you can certainly raid the apothecary shop. Yet again, since it's basically like a freebie shop at this point. Y'all have gone there like almost every session to steal from
We
the
love
shop.
that place.
Is there any other place y'all would like to steal from?
Oh, that's a good question.
Harbin has actually told y'all, for what you're about to do, the town will provision you with everything you need.
Oh.
No, it's not theft.
What the fuck? We want to steal it. Harbin.
Where's the fun in that, Harbin? Come on.
Okay.
Well, what other shops are in this town?
What sort of needs do you have?
Oh.
That'll sort of help me out. What are you looking for?
I want more poison.
You want more poison? Well, I
I want
mean,
more
that's
poison.
probably going to be the apothecary shop.
Okay.
There's also a leather worker, there's a clinic, there's an inn, there's a woodworking shop, there's a blacksmith. There's still the freaking, there's still the manor, there's still Arden Rodros, who nobody's talked to in like a bazillion years.
Who's that? I don't think we ever talked to him.
Arden Rodros is Revelin's brother, who y'all had convinced to go stay in the inn while...
No one cares about him, whatever.
While you burned down his house and murdered his brother.
Well, whatever. He'll get over it.
Yeah, well, there's also that guy, so there's plenty of stuff. It kind of just depends on what your fancy is. Isidora's got a house.
Oh, that's
She could probably
right.
assist you with anything if you're looking to do any major projects, anything like that. Just remember that time is of the essence. You have about a day and a half until the storms converge. So like 36 hours till doomsday.
Okay. What does everybody else want to do? Y'all need
Don't have
chemicals, healing potions, bombs? I don't know.
bombs?
I don't know. Just who knows?
Bombs? Bombs sound fun. Do they have bombs at the apothecary?
Well, y'all could probably, Isadora could probably figure something out depending on what's there.
Can I get explosive arrows? Is that a possible thing?
Ooh.
Explosive arrows. She could certainly try. Don't want to head that way?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so everyone goes back to your favorite loot shop. Hold on. These should not be tokens. There we go.
Is Lance waiting for us to go into the Feydark to go talk to the mercenaries up the hill?
No. I didn't think you guys were coming back. Like, in between.
Yeah, I didn't think we were coming back.
Yeah. So I'll just do it whenever the group does now.
Okay, so you guys are all here. There's plenty of stuff. Echo, or rather, Fife, do you open the door or do you just let Echo do their thing?
Echo can do their thing.
Okay. Alright, so Echo, when you come back, the door is locked. Do you want to go ahead and make a Thieves' Tools check to try and open that?
Yeah, sure. Is that just sleight of hand?
It would be dexterity plus your tool proficiency.
Okay.
I don't typically roll skills with tool checks. But I think maybe that's how they do it, so maybe that's how I should.
Okay. And so sorry, how do I figure out my tool proficiency? I'm on D&D Beyond? Is that just proficiency bonus?
Typically the way I do it is it's your ability modifier plus your proficiency in the tool. Same way it would be like a skill check. So, yeah, it would just be your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
I think the raw is that it's like a skill check, but then why would you ever take expertise in a tool instead of a skill? You know what I'm saying? Just take the skill and you basically get it anyway.
18.
Wowie. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, so, Echo, it's only going to take a few seconds with your very practiced, like, you're picking the lock with, like, a jig, and you just kind of rake it a little bit, and it pops right open. And you guys watch after only a few moments as they're able to just, like, you hear a click in the door.
I turn to Fife and I say, and I didn't even drop them, and I walk in.
Dang. Shade. Okay, cool. So y'all step inside. What are we doing today? Isidore's making explosive arrowheads.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for
A 17. Okay, Fife. Here's what she's able to produce. She's not able... It's not, like, chemically ready to be partitioned into smaller doses yet. However, she will be able to send you into the portal with, like, a jug of what's essentially, like, 4 different doses of, like, explosive nitroglycerin.
Cool.
Be careful with that. It's very sensitive.
I'll be sure to take good care of it.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to make your arrows. I tried.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Of course. I don't think I'll be joining all of you all in that portal. I'll do what I can here, on this side. Does anybody else want anything from here?
I want to go report that it looks like while we were gone, this place was looted to Harbin.
Okay.
I just want to let him know that it looks like whoever stole the keys has been using.
Okay. So, Cruel. You come back. Stepping inside, you are immediately hit by the smell. It appears that Harbin has vomited in his trash can. As you step through the door, you can see the anxiety immediately spike, and he says, "Ah, Cruel. You've come so soon. What can I do for you now?"
Are you doing okay? You need any help?
I'm under a tremendous amount of stress. I'm trying to imagine what's best to do, whether to move the citizens outside the town and take our chances with any monsters there, or try and bunker up somewhere, but it's not looking good.
Oh, well, speaking of things not looking good, just wanted to let you know that the apothecary, someone had definitely looted that place before we came back. So, your key situation is not looking great. Someone is stealing from the town.
Oh, for the love of... I can't deal with this right now, Cruel. I'm sorry I snapped at you. Thank you, Cruel. I appreciate this. I just have a lot on my plate.
All right.
But this does confirm a few suspicions, and I appreciate the information. When are you and the others proceeding into that strange, whatever that is?
Soon, I hope. But I need to go meet back up with them, I guess.
Yes. No, never mind. You're doing an excellent job, Cruel.
All right. If you feel like you're about to die, ask someone for help.
I will. Thank you, Cruel. That's very thoughtful of you.
Maybe speak with the Red Guard.
I'll probably speak with the Paladins. Hopefully one of them can help me.
Okay. Careful of Mazoon. The guy's up to something.
Careful of Mazoon. Oh,
Yeah?
yes, I agree. I don't know. That was very strange. Do you think so too?
Oh yeah. That's no good. You don't want stuff like that happening.
Well, hopefully he's willing to help all of us. Maybe it'll all work out.
No. But see you soon.
Okay, see you. Okay. Alright, girls. So you gotta make your way back. Alright. Anybody else doing anything at the apothecary shop?
Can get poison.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll me your poisoner's search. Let's see what you can find.
Sorry, just investigation?
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and roll it a few times. Let's see what you find.
Okay.
It's a D100, 3 times. Anybody else fife you in a rifle for some poisons? This is kind of your shtick as well.
I have some poisons, I believe.
Alright, so in the journal entries, you'll see a link to the poisoner's table. Y'all go ahead and roll your D100s and let me know what they are. I'll be happy to read them off to you. What do we got?
Alright. I got poison, 75.
75. Saint Bane. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay, so, actually, this will be... yeah, this might be really handy to you, actually. So, again, Echo, it was strange to you the first time finding that potion of abyssal resistance. And looking further, you're going to find another poison you're quite familiar with, one that's also utilized. And you find it very strange that here in the shop you're finding these ingredients, because these are cultivated specifically for dealing with demons. It's very unusual that the shop would have them, but you find Saint Urbane. A creature subjected to this poison takes 34 poison damage. If it's fully poisoned, this is an inhalant, by the way. If the creature's fully poisoned, it suffers another 3d4 radiant damage immediately. So this is very helpful in combating demons or other creatures of abyssal nature. What else do we have?
33.
3?
Oh, 33.
33. Dreamweed. Oh my god. Okay. Dreamweed's an inhalant. Dreamweed's actually it is a commonly consumed substance. However, for creatures who are unaccustomed to it, creatures subjected to it has disadvantage on all checks pertaining to intelligence and disadvantage on saving throws to avoid falling asleep. If fully poisoned, they will also experience short-term madness for 1d10 minutes. Another inhalant, useful for lobbing from afar. And your last roll?
27.
27. Deadly Nightshade. Ingested. Okay. A creature subjected to the poison suffers 4d10 damage. If fully poisoned, they become paralyzed for 8 hours. This is a vicious one and sets up a kill pretty nastily. Alright. Fife, what were your rolls?
Sorry, hold on. What? Where's I'm typing it wrong?
Oops.
There we go. 81.
Ooh, holy cow. Tears of the Infernal. I don't think I've ever been in a game where this one's been used yet. Let's see what this does. Injury. A creature subject to this poison takes 2d6 plus 2 acid damage. If the creature is fully poisoned, they must repeat a DC 16 con save every round for a minute or suffer 1d6 plus 2 acid.
Cool.
So it hits them and it stays on them. Alright. What else have we got?
A 62.
62. Mother's Worry. This is either inhaled or ingested.
Oh, I already had one of those actually.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, you have another one.
Nice.
Disadvantage on all con saves for 3 minutes. If fully poisoned, succeed on DC 12 Wisdom or suffer 2d6 Psychic.
Cool. And then 78.
78. Strychnine. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one's actually a really nasty one. And also a real poison.
Oh.
Strychnine. Ingested. A creature subjected to this poison takes 4d6 poison damage. If fully poisoned, they remain poisoned for 5 rounds. The poison causes convulsions when the creature is exposed to loud noises or pain. After taking damage, they must make a DC 15 con save or become incapacitated until the end of their next turn. If they take thunder damage, they have disadvantage on the save. The creature can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the incapacitation on a success.
Okay. What was the name of that again? Sorry.
Strychnine.
Strychnine. Is that spelled Stricnine?
Strychnine. It's
Cool.
like strychnine.
Nice. Got that one down.
Okay, yeah.
That
so
is a scary thing.
That is a scary thing. Basically, it's a poison for putting people into incapacitated status, which is pretty brutal. Okay, so you 2 poison people have raided the crap out of the poisons yet again. Lance and Cruel, anything y'all would like to do? The other 2 sort of know what they're looking for.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Real quick,
Yes.
I think
yes.
the only other thing, Echo would probably send out another letter to the right. But I can send you that letter later. We don't have to RP that.
Okay. So you're going to send off one more letter.
Yeah, and I'll send you that info later. But yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before we move on to the next phase of the game?
Ready for that next phase? I think I'm good.
Okay. So are y'all going straight into the portal?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright, so without further ado, you sort of bid your farewells to Lance and Isadora, who are remaining behind, and Cruel, Fife, and Echo are going to step through this portal into the Feydark. Cruel, your fucking art always catches me off guard. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so hold on, y'all. Let me change this music up a little bit.
Did Elok and Mazoon decide not to come?
Y'all never spoke to them.
Well, shit.
I was wondering if y'all were going to, but y'all didn't. Y'all just
Shit.
went straight
Okay.
through. Okay. So all three of you step through to this side. When you get to the other side, you are going to find these two figures. So it's kind of more appropriate to kind of size Luthien appropriately. Anyways, so essentially here, you make it to this other side, and you find yourself in a different place altogether. The sky above you is a stretched canopy of stars and astral bodies. And it's the night sky, beautiful and radiant. There's an aurora, which sort of ripples across, shining a brilliant light, which actually lights up the land below it, causing a sort of flashing effect among all of the fungus, which radiate in response to it. And in this kind of vibrant, dark, pink and purple wonderland, you kind of emerge next to these two figures. And one is this tall, gangly, insectoid wasp sort of entity here. And the other is this sort of rugged-looking drow who... Luthien, how would you describe yourself?
You pretty much, I mean, it's just an older looking elf or drow
Okay, so you're
who looks slightly disheveled and tattered.
Okay. So they seem to be kind of having a bit of a idle discussion when the three of you sort of like into space. And once they do, this insectoid figure Luthien is going to turn and say,
Ah, they're here. Finally, my waiting is at an end.
and Echo, Cruel, and Fife, the three of you are going to see these two figures here, sort of. One looks expectantly at you. Luthien, however, the drow, is sort of surprised by your sudden appearance.
Mortals here.
Yes, very strange, but they foresaw it as usual. Welcome, mortals. Welcome to the Feydark. I'm sure you're quite out of place.
Many thanks, indeed. Yeah.
The figure bows, and he says,
I am Gemnis. I'm a messenger of Metzenvaki. I've come to guide you through this place.
Wait. Do we know each other?
We have not met before. However, I believe Metzenvaki has reached out to you on several attempts.
Okay.
I'm afraid that's all I know. I'm not afforded much knowledge.
Good.
I'm but a humble servant.
Interesting. Cool.
Yes, very well. I suppose we should depart, eh?
Sounds like a plan. Wait, you said you were expecting us, right? How long have you been here?
Oh,
the creature sort of looks over at Luthien, and he says,
not long.
Lord Metzenvaki's generally quite good with its timing. I'd say we've been here perhaps a few minutes. What do you say, my strange fellow? As he's sort of addressing Luthien. I just sort of met this chap wandering around.
It's incredibly good time.
It is very good timing.
I was placed here. No idea why. Very long ago. It is refreshing to see other souls here, besides my own.
Wait, how long have you been here?
Oh, for quite some time. Give or take 100 years.
Are you talking about this local place or the Feydark in general?
Or just standing right where you are right now.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been
he just
standing in
been-
place.
Like
Okay.
here?
No, not right here.
Okay.
So Luthien, you're actually from the Underdark, from the material plane.
Yeah, but I've been trapped here for a while.
Right. So he says, Gimna is sort of addressing you all and says,
Yes, you're all quite an unfortunate lot. However, Lord Metzenvaki will probably be able to assist you with whatever it is you're attempting to do. I believe he has business with you.
sort of pointing over at Cruel.
And you
Point
as well.
Pointing at Fife.
Okay.
And he says,
Very well. Are you all prepared?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ready to try.
Sure.
Lead the way, gymnast.
Very good. We have a long trail ahead of us.
let's get going. And the creature just sort of turns and is going to start leading you into the Feydark. Let me see here. Whoop. So you are making your way through the Fey Woods. When you are going to encounter at some point along your path you are going to find, as you're traveling, these three moth-like entities who stand before you. There we are. And as you're making your way through this sort of like mushroom-like fungal forest, these three figures are going to appear before you, and the one in front is going to say, "Halt! We know precisely who you are and what you're here for. But I'm afraid we've come to intervene." He says, "I am Lady Nyagan." Let me write this here. And she says, "And I come on behalf of the Winter Court. These are my associates." And she says, "Whatever authority you travel by, ours supersedes it. We request immediately that you come with us."
Wait, why do you think we're here?
Hang on, let me put them on the map here. And she says, "You're here as guests of the Lord Metzenvaki, are you not?"
Tangentially, maybe.
Does Luthien know
Theoretically.
who Lord Metzenvaki is?
I don't think any of y'all know who Lord Metzenvaki is, except maybe Fife. And as
Even
far as
I
all of
don't
you know,
really
you
know.
came through here as a means to save Phandalin. Y'all didn't come here as anything
Yeah,
other than that.
I do not know what they're talking about.
Luthen's been here for a while, that's why I asked that.
Luthien, you have nothing to do with these adventures, to be honest. You just sort of tagged along with this strange Gymnast fellow who offered
you
to
did
serve as a
say-
guide.
Yeah.
You've been stranded way out in the Feywilds in the middle of nowhere for a pretty long time.
We don't know of this person you speak.
She says, it doesn't matter. You are to accompany me one way or another. Regardless of whatever your objectives were, you are now guests of the Enseeli Winter Court. You are to accompany me.
What does Gymnus think of this?
Looking at this, you can see Gymnus is kind of nervous. Looking back at at the rest of you all, he kind of mutters and he says, "Oh, this isn't good."
Why not?
Well, my hands are tied.
I'm afraid there isn't much we can do. If the Queen of the Enseeli calls you, then I'm afraid this is a bit above us.
Oh,
We
okay.
wouldn't want to cross her. It's best we go, but I'm afraid this puts us terribly off schedule. Oh dear.
Holding up my hand, I go, let Gymnus go report this and we'll go with you.
He sort of frowns and he says, "Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. What to do. Roll me a persuasion check if you want Gymnus to go report on your situation.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
I did.
Oh, that 9? Lady Nyagan is gonna say, "I'm afraid not. You all need to accompany us. You as well. Guide, your insight is particularly interesting. Come along. We'll make good time. Let's not delay." Are you going to accompany these moth people who stand before you?
Assume we don't have much choice in the matter.
What
Yeah,
does
I like that.
what does Luthien think?
They're well above. Oh, I'm using fucking Lance's voice. I say, they're quite well above us. It'd be in your best interest to follow them. This is their domain.
Okay, let's go with him.
Yeah, I will say they're very clearly nobility. Like, you can tell at a glance looking at them that these are like they're here to serve a purpose. Knights and this lady here. Okay, so in this case, what's happening now is you all are being whisked away to the Fey Court. In that case, we are probably going to draw the session to a close here, and I will have to prep more moving forward from here.
Sounds good.
Is there anything further y'all would like to do before the end of the session, as you're sort of making your travels with Lady Nyagan and these two knights?
We're going to see the Winter Queen, right?
Mm-hmm. You're being summoned to the Enseeli Court by Queen Nadeliani.
Yeah, Luthen cannot wait to see her again.
Again?
Yep, again.
On the road, can I try and finish my parachute?
Yeah, sure. So as you are just traveling, sure, go ahead and make me a crafting check.
Crafting. What is crafting?
So for a parachute, I believe I'll let you do intelligence or dexterity.
Okay. 12.
12? Okay. You make some headway on it.
Okay.
I believe you're one success away. We'll count this as a half success.
Okay.
So, we'll leave it at that. Anybody else, would y'all like to make any crafting checks while you're traveling?
I'd like to make more amethyst bolts.
Amethyst bolts. Okay. Okay, yeah, go ahead and make me a roll. me see. Let me see. I will count this as a half success.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is Lance making them outside the thing, just so we're clear. This is Lance's check.
True. Well, okay, so being real, everything that's happening in the real world right now is basically on hard pause. Because 1 hour equaling 3.5 months is a massive time discrepancy. I was looking at like how much 1 second is, and it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I think we did the math, and it was a third of a day.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Or a minute is like a third of a day. I forget.
So
I think it was minutes.
Can't really do anything right now.
Yeah, so Lance and Isadora are kind of out of the campaign for the moment.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, and so Tasha's welcome to like bring in whoever, or step through at some point. We'll figure out. Yeah, that's always an option too. If y'all want to like re-enter, if you're like, hey, our characters, want to do a thing, it is still sitting there, but there will be like a time discrepancy. Y'all will be able to get a lot of shit done before those characters come to the decision to step through.
We completely forgot the paladins outside.
Yeah.
I can't believe we forgot the paladins. I
can't believe
we forgot that. I feel so dumb for forgetting that. Like,
rookie mistake. Always forgetting the paladin.
I was gonna argue to not have them enter anyway, so I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I'm just like, oh shit.
Wow.
Because I expected them to enter with us, so.
I mean, yeah, you put a very good argument up, but y'all were like, no, we're just gonna go straight on through that portal. So I was like, okay. I'll just let you know they will enter based on that roll that you entered, so you don't have to worry about that. However, they will be entering slightly after y'all did, which may end up being quite a while for y'all now.
And there wasn't a portal where we spawned, right?
There was not a portal where you spawned. No, not that you saw.
Okay.
Oh god. Oh, that's hilarious, actually. Yeah, because they missed the guide now, which is funny too.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're just gonna be like fucking around in the mushrooms.
Oh god. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. Okay. Cool beans, y'all. Well, I'll go ahead and stop the recording here.